All right, welcome back to the channel, Cyborg Pirate, and don't forget to check us out on cyborgpirate.com. So, as you know, we're getting into the Drysuit series, talking about different dry suits, different options, and these are all going to be personal experiences that we've had with our own dry suits, and likes, dislikes, and things that are must-haves, and also some things to look for, and all self-assessment for what you're doing with your dry suit. Now, a couple of questions that I've gotten emails about, whatever, and I don't know if they're divers, non-divers, but some of the questions that I have received since the last video are, what is the difference between a dry suit and a wetsuit, and what's the purpose? So, pretty much, I guess, the way that we're going to look at it is a dry suit keeps you dry, and a wetsuit does not. Now, the infamous scene that from Goldfinger with James Bond pulling himself out of a dry suit into a tuxedo that he had on underneath it, that's a little far-fetched. Not impossible, but a little far-fetched. Typically, a dry suit, you will stay dry, but you are going to have a little bit of moisture in there because you're placing your body in a plastic bag. And if anyone's ever done that, you know you sweat. So there's some condensation and stuff in there. However, James Bond, that's just what makes the movie. But for the most part, a dry suit keeps you dry. It doesn't allow the ocean water or the lake water to get on you and keep you cold and wet the whole time. Whereas a wetsuit, the way that a wetsuit works is, depending upon the thickness of the wetsuit, will allow for a shorter or longer amount of time to help keep you warm. As we all know, water takes away your body heat much faster than the ambient air temperature does. And so because water is a heavier medium, it's about 800 times more dense than the air, it also absorbs your body heat a lot faster. And so what a wetsuit does is you still get wet, but it holds a thin layer of water against your body and allows it to be insulated, rather than if you were just exposed your bare skin to the water, whisking away your body heat as fast. So here we have a Bear wetsuit. Again, as you know, I am a Bear fan. I like a lot of their products. This happens to be a 7mm wetsuit, and this is the wetsuit that is my primary wetsuit for right now. A lot of different technologies and stuff to go into the different wetsuits. This one, again, is 7mm thick, so this is worn for colder water. A lot of people dive a 7mm all winter long. I'm a sissy. I like a dry suit, so I don't. Also, I did put the sub-gravity deluxe thigh pockets on there. The big thing with the wetsuit, and maybe I'll do a series on wetsuits coming up, but the big thing with the wetsuit, what I recommend is, and I've had a number of wetsuits, the cheaper ones moved into the more expensive ones. When it comes to thermal protection, spend the money, buy the right equipment, and when it comes to wetsuits, you get what you pay for. So yes, buy the more expensive wetsuits. They're going to last longer. You'll get a lot more bang for your buck, even though that buck is a lot higher. But that is a wetsuit. The dry suit itself is a much thinner design. This is the dual zipper setup, but it's a much thinner design. This particular dry suit has a Cordura cover over much of the area. It's a lot thicker, and I'm going to get into covering this suit later when we do more of the explanation on this one. So I don't want to get into too much of that now. But this is made of a tri-laminate type polyester and nylon, along with other materials that keep you dry. It's watertight, so it does not allow for moisture to get in there. And also the zipper is watertight, so water doesn't get in through there. And of course, you have your wrist seals and neck seals. Again, I like the latex over the silicone, but these wrist seals, they fit tight against your wrist, and they don't allow for water to protrude past that and get into the suit as well. Same with your neck. So if you're someone who does not like things tight around your neck, it does take a little bit of getting used to, but it's not impossible to do, and it's just something that becomes second nature after a while. But the first time you put one on, you might feel a little claustrophobic with it. So that is the big differences between a dry suit and between a wetsuit. And so hopefully that helps clear up a couple of questions. Feel free to ask more questions if you want. Add them down in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to answer them for you. So thanks for checking us out, Cyborg Pirate, and don't forget to cyborgpirate.com. Cyborg out.